And despite my efforts, I was the last one in my immediate family to stick around because it got so bad. But I said, no, I love my family. We can get through this. I've loved these people all my life. And, they love one another.
I'm just going to be over here, okay? I'll hold your hand.
Yeah.
But this is about you. They don't want me in the picture right now. This is about you. But you don't have to share.
Yeah, so there are people that have told me I can make my own decisions, right? And I can do whatever I want to do. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one. Yeah, you were a child, too much on your shoulders. Yeah. And there were people who told me, get out of the middle. But the thing was, they kept putting me in the middle, and I think that was the really hard part for me as a kid, is, when you're a kid, you don't necessarily know your place. You think you're a big person. You think you're an adult. And, and you think you're so smart when you're a little kid. And even now, I don't have all the answers. But there's a lot of things that I got put in the middle of. And because the way my family works, that's just the way it was. But now starts the healing. Yeah. I've been starting down this healing process. Basically, there's things that I have healed from because I was able to work through them. But then there are things that I never got to because I couldn't talk to anybody about them with. Like, I could share bits and pieces, but, no one truly understood just how bad it was or anything. And there were people that did try to be there for me or whatnot, but it was just really hard. So when I met Jim and, he opened up about some things in his life, and so that made me a little bit more comfortable to open about things that happened in my life. And so I remember when I was talking about them with him, I hadn't really truly talked about them with anybody. And so that was definitely, I remember when I first was telling you things, it was just relief that I could say anything. Because there are things that had happened with my grandfather and what happened between him and my family that I couldn't talk about because, there's certain things in family that, you don't talk about it. You don't talk about that family stuff. You push it to the side. That's for family. You don't talk about that in public. And so, like I said, I love my family, and I grieve that my family had to go through what they went through. But, it just, gosh. So, I remember my dad was in a place where, glad you're opening up. It helps so much to get the weight off your shoulders. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. My dad couldn't talk about certain things because it was too hard for him. And I couldn't talk about them with my mom because she was so emotional. What?
No, I'm trying to get it for you. Sorry.
No one can take the truth from you. God will work through you to help others. That's the goal. That's what I hope. That's what I truly hope. So I couldn't talk to anybody. And my family is very it's interesting because my mom is very she believes in, counseling and therapy, but my dad really isn't that big a fan of it. So when after things happened with my grandfather, my dad got us on a wait list for a family counseling session. And then I don't know, he probably consulted my mom. I don't know if he did or not. But it was a couple months because, the waiting list, right? It was months or whatever, months. And I was just like, so Dad, when are we gonna, I forget if I breached it or if he breached it. I forget who brought it up. It's like, when are we gonna do that counseling session? And my dad's like, it's been a while. I don't really feel like we need it. So I just canceled it. Like, you don't think our family has other issues? I was like, I can be very submissive, just because of the way that I was brought up. And so I was always that girl that I didn't want to be submissive, but I'm submissive, if that makes any sense. I was that girl that's, everybody likes High School Musical, so I'm not going to watch High School Musical. Like, there's nothing wrong with High School Musical, like, I didn't want to be that girl. I wanted to be me. But the thing was, I didn't know who me was. That was the problem. And so, I just, let's see, mixed video. Hi. So I just basically, I didn't know who I was, and I was trying to figure out who I was, but I didn't know how. Hi. And so when my dad said that about us not needing family counseling, I was like, oh yeah. Like, you're right. Yeah, we don't need that. Hi. Is that hi Dylan? So I just kind of went along with it, and I think that was a lot of my life. Is even when I wanted to dig in my heels and say no, I want to do what I want to do. Like I was rebellious. I will admit, I was very rebellious when I was in my not per se teenage, but like early teenage years, when I was like a tween. I was like really rebellious. I was so angry and depressed, and I was not in a good place. I remember I was in a group of friends, and the one girl was my best friend in the whole wide world. And even to this day, whenever she comes to my mind, I pray for her, because we did have a genuine friendship, and she will always have a place in my heart. So she didn't like this one girl in our group, and so she said, oh, we don't want her there. And sounds no one acknowledged your feelings, which is frustrating. Poet is definitely, I was very antisocial to a degree, just because in my family we didn't really do emotions. Like, we did emotions, but we didn't do emotions. There was just so much negativity at home at times that I just didn't want to add to it. But I did add to it, and that was wrong on my part, is that I did add to it. Mark. Hi, Mark. Tracy, have you had counseling now? Have I had counseling now? No, I haven't. I've talked to Jim about things, which is crazily, that was like, when we first met, it was, he was basically just, oh my gosh, like, just amazing. And so just talking with him was definitely helpful in so many different ways, so many different levels. Journaling can be very therapeutic. Yeah,